Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another video, the T on NPD and relationships. Hello, everyone. To all of my new subscribers and new family members, hello and welcome to my tribe and family at large. Welcome back, y'all. Thank you all so much for coming back and watching another video. Listen, I love to always mention and plug our Thursday night live stream. I really do believe that you want to be on that Thursday night live stream, or you should want to be, because I'm telling you, this is where we take our healing to the next level, to wholeness, to the next level of boldness. This is where it all goes down. 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'd love to see you in the chat. All right. Like I tell y'all sometimes, look, jump in the chat, grab a snack, come on back, y'all, and enjoy the fellowship of the Thursday night live stream. So many great, knowledgeable survivors in the live, in the chat. And I'm telling you, God meets us there. So I'd love to see you 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, y'all. And every time we drop a video on the channel, the goal of the day, and this is on Thursday nights, of course. And every time we drop a video on the channel, the goal of the day is 2.1K plus on the likes. Y'all know if you rocks with your girl, hit that like button, hit that like button, hit that. I want y'all to hit that like button for your girl. All right. I'm doing a rocks with your girl check. You know, I'm always doing that. All right. Just want to make sure y'all rocking with me. All right, y'all. So let's jump into the topic of this video. I want to talk about why was the stress and pressure so great in the narcissist, in the relationship with the narcissist. It's unlike any other relationship that you have ever been through. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to lay it out for you, because you know, people say, like, I've never been through a relationship like this, or I've never been in a situation like this. I don't understand why it was so hard. You know, why was the relationship so hard with the narcissist? Why was it so difficult? You know, and I'm going to tell y'all, I'm going to basically give y'all revelation. So y'all might want to just really listen attentively. I'm going to give you revelation on this. Okay. Why was the relationship with the narcissist so difficult? Why did it stress you out so much? Okay. First of all, you're not dealing with a normal person. Okay. These people are not normal. You're not actually in a normal relationship. Okay. This is not it's not even a relationship. It's a manipulatorship. I don't think I've ever heard of that, but yeah, it's a manipulatorship. That's what it is. And the relationship is basically set to only engage your emotions and your body. Come on, Holy Spirit. Talk to me today. All right. The relationship is only set to engage your emotions and your body, that will ultimately control your mind and your will. Okay. That's the first piece of it. Now, it's difficult to only have a relationship with a person through your emotions, because your logical mind, which is where you reason and where you should be making decisions out of that logical headspace, you don't get that opportunity with a narcissist. Most of y'all gonna testify in the comment section, every time y'all was with that narcissist, you know, a lot of the decisions that you made in and about the relationship, they were through your emotions. And that's the way the narcissist likes it, because that's their level playing field. Okay, is your emotions. They can't deal with your logical mind, because the logical mind is going to say, no, this doesn't make sense. So why would you do that? That's crazy. And this person got to be a special kind of stupid if they want to, you know, engage in that way. See, a narcissist doesn't want you to be able to access your logical mind. And so what they do is they do things in the relationship that will cause you to stay emotional. We talk about this in the Thursday night live stream. This is why I'm telling y'all need to get in there, because we go deep. Okay. They do things to cause you to stay in your emotions, like the overthinking, like the gaslighting, you know, like the projection, the blame shifting, because you're always on guard. You know what I'm saying? You're always in your emotions. And that's with very good reason for them, because they understand that that's their level playing field. That's the field that they dominate in as far as manipulation. And that's how they can keep you under their control, is through your emotions. Now, once you start to master your emotions and you figure out who this bird really is, then they have no more control over you. They can't, there's nothing that they can do with that, basically. You're going to become a problem to them. But the relationship was so difficult and hard because it wasn't a normal person that you were in a relationship with. Now, the other piece of that is that when we're in the relationship, or when we were in the relationship with the narcissist, guess what we had to do in order to stay with them? And this is where the shame piece comes in. This is another reason that it makes it so hard, is you can never be in a relationship with a narcissist without having to lie about the situation and the relationship. Boom. There it is. There it is. That makes it hard, y'all. That makes it even the more difficult, because you're lying to your family. You're lying to your friends. We were lying to our families. We were lying to our friends. We were lying to the children. We were lying to everybody around us about who this bird really was, right? And when you have to lie to maintain and sustain a relationship, most of the time you're doing it because you're ashamed of what you're in a relationship with, or who you're in a relationship with. Most of the time, that's why we do it. It's because we're ashamed of what we are choosing to engage in. We've emotionally invested ourselves, and physically too. And that has gotten the best of us. And we really honestly don't know how to get out. And we don't know how to tell the people around us that this wonderful person, or this person that we thought was so wonderful in the beginning, we were singing their praises. Oh, they're this, they're boo, 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 all of that. And now we got to go back and say, this is the most horrible individual in life. Okay. This person right here is a whole devil. Okay. I mean, seriously. So you see how hard and difficult and stressful it was because of these things, and a lot of it, the narcissist is not going to allow you to be yourself. A lot of it is you having to be someone else in the relationship. And what you do is you lose yourself in the intro. Why? Because the narcissist doesn't want the real, strong, powerful you. See, what they do is they begin to chip away at your strong foundation, or your foundation of, the essence of who you are, through the gaslighting, the projecting, the blame shifting, all of that. And they never take accountability for anything. So that means that you have to be accountable for everything. I mean, stuff that you didn't even do. This is why the relationship was so difficult. It was so hard. It was so stressful, is because these are the things that we don't think about. These are the things that we don't understand when we're in the middle of that sewage storm. Okay. And I'm going to tell you something about a storm. When you are in the middle of the storm, that is not the time to try to figure out what type of storm it is. That's the time for you to be getting a strategy as to how you can get out of it. And why did I say that? Why did I mention that? I mentioned that because a lot of times we stay trying to figure out what's going on with them, and trying to help them to get to a place where we can now deal with the relationship, when we can't help them because we can't even help ourselves at that point. You know what I'm saying? And the narcissist doesn't even want to be helped. How are you going to help somebody when they have basically caused you to become a shell of who you were? How are you going to help somebody when you have basically, you going to help somebody find themselves when you've lost yourself? Make that make sense. It doesn't. But these are some of the biggest reasons why the relationship with the narcissist was so difficult, is that you lose yourself. You're constantly lying to the people around you. And we are ashamed, y'all. I know I was, y'all. I was ashamed. I was ashamed to tell people that this backwards walking giraffe, honey, and the backwards flying pigeon with the feathers missing, I said it, okay? I was ashamed to tell people that this clown did not have a job. He didn't want to work nowhere. This thing would not get a job in a pie factory tasting pies. Forget it. Okay. I was ashamed to tell people that he was a liar, a manipulator, a cheater, after you have, basically praised this person for being the most wonderful person. You know what I'm saying? You told everybody, oh, this is my person. Now you got to go back and be like, yeah, this ain't my person. Yeah, this ain't it. Yes, that's it. So and I had to, and then you got to think about dealing with the aftermath of that, let alone all of the stuff that you're losing in the interim. Because if y'all are like me, I lost a lot when I was with the narcissist, especially narcissist number one. I lost a lot. A lot of the stuff that I built, a lot of the stuff that I accumulated over, just making good decisions, financial decisions and things like that in life. I lost a lot of that dealing with that, because narcissists are losers. Most of them are. And not only do they lose, but they make you lose too, by being in association with them. But you lose your self-worth, your self-esteem. All of that is hinged upon the fact that you have to pretend to be someone that you're not. You got to lie. You got to lie in the relationship. You got to lie about the relationship, because some of y'all wanted to manipulate the narcissist back. So y'all start telling lies and doing stuff that the narcissist did. We all did it. Okay. But I get this question is why was it so hard? Well, first of all, you weren't dealing with a normal person. And you got to forgive yourself, because you're not responsible for the lies that somebody else told you. But what you are responsible for is, now that you know the truth, what you going to do with it? Yeah, what you going to do with it? But this is the reasoning why it's so difficult, and why this is also why you should never go back, because everything that I'm telling you now is never going to change. If you go back to them, it's going to be more the same, because you got to try to make these people look like good people when they're actually horrible people. That's it, plain and simple. So don't do it to yourself. This is why you found it so difficult and so hard in the relationship with the narcissist, and you literally lost yourself, is because of these things right here. So family, I want y'all to really, please be really good to yourselves. Take this information in and just really ponder on it. And then not only that, apply the word of God to what I'm saying. And I guarantee you will sit and you will think about that, and you're like, you know what? There's no way I could ever go back to that. Or there's no way that I can stay in this. That's what I want to see, and I want to see happen. Is you take control of your life in this situation and you pull up out of it, because that's the only way that you're going to be free. That's the only way that you're going to come from underneath that stress and that pressure. Because anybody that you got to lie to and for to be with, that ain't God. That ain't God. That is not your soulmate. That is not your person. Because if you got to tell lies to be with that person, and you got to tell lies to that person to be with them, because they lying to you and you trying to manipulate them back and lie and do all kinds of stuff, that's not your person. That God wouldn't send you somebody like that. All right, family. So listen, I love you all. I hope this really helps you understand why the relationship with the narcissist was so difficult, and why you found yourself losing yourself in that relationship. All right. I love you, family, and I will see you all on the next video, and I will see you all healed and whole at the top. Shalom, family. Peace.